I said, hypothetically speaking, I said, if you take everything that the white man has done out of the history of humanity and out of the history of this country, do you still have a religion?
Whoa.
He was like, what do you mean? I said, no, if you erase everything that the white man has done out of the history of this country, do you still have an enemy? It's like the only reason why you were able to exalt the so-called black man the way you have is because you made the white man the devil, which is the Edomite. You call him the Edomite, right? And I was like, so if you really pay attention to it, you're more of a slave to the white man's teachings than I am. Because your religion was not built on what God has done, but your religion is based on what white people has done to black people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're actually still like you think that you're free, but you're a slave.
Yep.
You're a slave.
They're still living in your head rent free.
Yeah. So he was like, yeah, you talking great. I said, no. I said, let's look at the evidence. I said, all of you guys' signs doesn't even have the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus here. It's we're the lost children of Israel. The white man is the Edomite. The United States has lying to us for years. DNA tests are rigged by the United States government. It's like the gospel narrative is not even shown up on your posters. It's not there. It's like this is a reactionary faith. So you have a reactionary faith.
Wow.
And so then the dude threatened to slap me, and he was like, "Man, get out of here, man! Before I slap you, you talking crazy." And I said, "Is that not?" Even if you disagree with it, can you agree? Can you at least acknowledge that my question to you was a rational thought? Like it was logical. It was logic.
Yeah.
Like you might not agree with the logic, but is it something that you can wrestle with? I can't wrestle with that that BS. And they cut the conversation off. You know, and so
I think anytime somebody's threatening physical harm against you, they lost.
That's when the conversation. They don't have an argument to your question,
it's over.
And it was anger there.
Wow,
it was anger there, and so
that's crazy.
That was one of my first run-ins with the Hebrew Israelites.
Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH BaHashem, YAHAWASHI BaHashem, Rakwak Wadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to my Akim Wakwathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this captivity, as well as a speckled bird that may look like the other nations, but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson, I'm going to go into this dumbass hypothetical. All right, because I think this is just stupid, and the reason why it's stupid, I'm going to explain this first because it's genuinely a simple concept to understand that he's trying, and that's the thing, Slakia. The thing is that it always comes back down to how do we justify Esau, Edom in the things that we do. How do we save Esau? How do we do this? How do we do that? All right. Or there's no ground to stand on without Esau. Esau is the centerpiece for literally everything. That's basically the premise of his mindset and how he's trying to justify and trying to make it so that we basically back off of Esau. Now, the thing about what he was saying in this whole reactionary faith, that is absolutely stupid, because if you know about the Bible, if you literally read anything about the scriptures, then you would know that that's just objectively false, because the Israelites were in power during King David, King Solomon, all this stuff like that. So there was no quote unquote religion, all right, based off of that. So again, it already through just basic knowledge of the scriptures. And another issue is how he's equating it to just religious belief rather than actually understanding, or rather than actually believing, or rather than actually acknowledging the history of the scriptures. So his premise basically what he's admitting to, which I don't even know if he acknowledges this himself, but basically he is basically admitting that the Bible is a fairy tale to him. He thinks that everything that happened in the scriptures did not actually happen in real life, or there's nothing grounded in reality. It's just a fairy tale book to him, but yet he's supposed to be a Christian. So where's his where there is basically no faith, or he just believes in fairy tales rather than actually believing that the scriptures are grounded in genuine reality. So it's just like, okay, well, his entire life is, okay, well, I'm just gonna live as Esau's lapdog and slave, and then I'll pretend like I believe in fucking heaven or some shit like that. I don't know, because the thing is that if you the logic behind it is that for you to believe that the scriptures are real and to believe that the kingdom of heaven is real, they have to be. You would imagine that both are synonymous, but in actuality, apparently not, based off of how he is presenting his argument. So again, as I said before, that's where you have this issue of this is just not. Apparently, this is just not true to him. This is not substantiated by anything, and it's just like, okay, so we believe our fairy tale, he believes his fairy tale, and that's how life goes. That's how life goes on. The only thing that's actually real to him is Esau, and by extension, that does kind of paint Esau to look like a god in his eyes, which is why it's very important to know who and what you believe in. Anyway, to get into some more of the things, Isaiah chapter 46 verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. So basically, Yahawadah, he said that he said that we would be in captivity, in our captivity. All right. So as a result of that, this has to happen. This is going to happen. This was going to happen. All right. So as a result, it did happen. So saying that you're just going to take away everything that Esau did, well, the Lord either would just have us not go off, or the Lord would just make us be in captivity to someone else. It's literally that simple. It's that simple of a concept to understand. But of course, the only thing that matters is that how do I find a way to logically find some workaround to save Esau, rather than and that's the thing where all of what Esau did, he's allowed to get away with it. He's allowed to be justified in it, but Esau's allowed to be justified in the terrible things that he did. Slakia. But whenever someone points that out, you're a demon, you're evil, you're this, you're that, whatever. He might not have said that, but that's what basically we hear other people say as well. And again, as I said before, his question doesn't make any sense. It's actually stupid, because how are you going to say specifically take that? Because we were in the captivity in other places as well. So does that mean that all that is just goes out the way? You're just gonna disqualify only Esau, so you can say, Esau is fine, Esau can be saved, Esau this, that, and third. All right. Now, Slaki, I want to actually play this more because I forgot what else he said.
And out of the history of this country, do you still have a religion?
So yeah, I already talked about that. If you remove his thing, yes. If you remove this thing, do we still have a religion? No, there is no religion. It's just our heritage. Our heritage would have just been, either we are under captivity with someone else, or if, as he was saying, I think what he was trying to say was, remove our current captivity, and what would we be doing right now? Well, we would just be following after. Either we would be following after YAHAWASHI, as in following the scriptures better, I would hope better, or we would be going off and serving other gods as we were previously, or we would be in captivity to another nation if Esau just didn't exist, or some shit like that. So let's continue on, Slocky, so I can make sure I catch everything.
Whoa.
He was like, what do you mean?
Oh my God, Slocky. I mean, okay, let me just say, I hate people like this not the other person that just responded, because you have these dumbasses that say, "Oh, whoa, that's deep. That's deep," when it's not really that deep. If you take a second to think, even on a Christian level, if you just think for 1 second, the Israelites were not tied to just being in captivity, and that's not a religion. It is a historic thing. You're just disqualifying the entirety of what happened in the scriptures. So that's not deep. That's not no whoa type shit. You're just dumb.
I said no. If you erase everything that the white man has done out of the history of this country, do you still have an enemy?
Okay, perfect. Now, do we still have an enemy? Yes, we still have an enemy, and that is every other nation. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to remember. It was I'm trying to do not over here. I think it's Psalms chapter 139 verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee. Verse 22, I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Basically, the same people that the same people that are the Lord's enemies are our enemies. So anyone that simply hates YAHAWAH, that is whom we count as our enemies. And I'm trying to remember that other one. It was trying to remember. It was where the fuck is it? Alright, whatever. I don't remember the other one. Basically, the first thing is people that simply hate YAHAWASHI. That's number one, our enemies. But also number two, our enemies would be the other nations that have had us in captivity, and just in general, the other nations in general, because the other nations, they're not friendly with us and all that stuff. And that's been a common thing, especially when after Moses got the Israelites out of Egypt, that most of the other nations counted us as their enemy, and they just were not messing with us. They hated us. They said, oh, we have to go kill them if they get near us, X, Y, and Z. I think it was only like literally one nation that at the time that said, okay, yeah, let's just try to kiss their ass so that we don't get murked like the rest of them. And that was basically the I forgot what happened. I actually forgot what happened, but basically that was basically the I'm gonna actually go read that later on. But that's basically what happened with the history in terms of like how who's our enemies and who's our allies and stuff like that. We don't really have any allies, and especially now, who's our allies right now? We don't have any. No nation now literally sides with us. All right, there's no country as a nation that actually likes us, that specifically says, oh, the specifically Africans or whatever, they don't even particularly like us. They the freaking Chinese, the Indians, the whatever, they are not our allies. They hate us. They despise us. All right. So over here you have this that is just proof against the thing where our enemies, even if Esau doesn't exist, is still other nations. So yeah, let's continue on so I can remember.
It's like the only reason why you were able to exalt the so-called black man the way you have.
Stupid. Okay, I can't. I'm honestly having a hard time listening to this shit. Oh yeah. So basically, to kind of further prove this point, so I can calm down. Deuteronomy 28 verse. Let's start at verse 1. Now go to verse 15. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power. Basically, the Lord will bless us and overtake us with said blessings if we actually listen. So that was the duality of, if we weren't in captivity today, we would be, if we were obedient, then we would be blessed. We would be enjoying all the blessings of being a follower of YAHAWAH. Now, on the flip side of that is, still, again, this is under his dumbass pretense. Okay, verse 15. But if it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Basically, the thing here is, if we were wicked, if we were serving the other gods as we were serving other gods previously, then we're going to be, we're going to have to go through all these curses, and the curses are not symbolic. What the fuck? It's synonymous with our captivity, as we went through all these different. We are going through all these different curses. Okay, or say we're going through all these different curses that signify, all right, that we are the Israelites. And let me actually get that to prove that. Verse Deuteronomy 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hast hearkeneth not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Basically, the Lord set this captivity and these curses to signify that we are in fact the children of Israel. We are the Israelites. If we weren't in captivity, then we would already have known, because Esau literally stole our heritage away from us. And let me see if I can find that, because that's pretty good. Cut them. Okay, cut. Psalms chapter 83 verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Okay, so basically, that's again biblical prophecy for us. If we weren't in captivity, all right, then we would already know who we are. But because we are in captivity, the Lord is awakening us to whom we are. All right. So once again, let me see if there's more.
Is because you made the white man the devil, which is the Edomite.
That's just not true. And again, I literally just explained that.
You call him the Edomite, right? And I was like, so if you really pay attention to it, you're more of a slave to the white man's teachings than I am, because your religion was not built on what God has done, but your religion is based on what white people has done to black.
I quite literally just explained how how we are literally here as a result of what Yahweh did, and what he will do. So, like, it just, as I said before, I don't really need to. I'm gonna obviously point some stuff out just to make sure that, you know, I cover everything. Yahawadah.
Black people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're actually still like, you think that you're free, but you're a slave.
We are quite literally a slave, because, you know, tax. I'm pretty sure, I forgot what it was. I forgot the exact wording of it, but they basically said that if you pay taxes, then you're a slave. All right, that's number one. Number two, we're not allowed to own anything. We can't own our own stuff. I think it was a social security number. Like, that's basically like a barcode for slavery. I think even Edomites say that stuff. Okay, where like you are basically a product. All right. So this whole thing with this whole you're a slave, like, that's, again, this makes no sense. And it's always Dick ride Esau and blame Jake for all the bullshit that Esau put us through. But okay, I guess.
Slave.
Yep.
You're slave.
They're still living in your head rent free.
So he was like, yeah, you talking crazy. I said, no.
And how the fuck are we not supposed to think about someone that's constantly able to murder us at the drop of a hat. So you're retarded.
I said, let's look at the evidence. I said,
let's whatever you heard.
You guys' signs doesn't even have the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus here.
All right, this nigga is retarded. Anyway, let's continue on, or maybe I'm done. Okay, yeah, perfect. Here, I remember this. It was Romans chapter 9 verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh according to election might stand, not of works but of him that calleth. So over here it said that the Lord had appointed destined stuff or whatever that was going to happen before the children were born. So Esau was always going to put us into captivity before he was even born. That's what the Lord dictated and decided. Now next, so I can find it, verse 20, nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against Yahweh? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay of that same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Basically over here it's where we, being the Israelites, all right, we are what's the word? We are the clay, and the Lord has mold and can control the clay the way that the Lord chose to have our lives go. This is how things went. All right. Hence why the Lord decided, okay, Esau is going to be the villain or whatever of the story of the entirety of the world. Which even it's not even just us. Other nations hate Esau as well. All right. They've been hating him. All right. And okay, again, another one. Well, no, actually, not really. Yeah, that's basically it. So with that, I pray the system was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, Rakwa Kwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, Abad, and Shalom.